Okay, so this is See It, Say It Phonics. It's a colour-coded phonics reading scheme. It completely follows the letters and sounds programme that's used in English and Welsh primary schools at the moment. It's synthetic phonics. It's scientifically proven to accelerate learning reading. Old books stick rigidly to synthetic phonics. That's not to say that as you're reading through, your child may learn some words off by heart, which is fine. What we're trying to emphasise with this scheme is that each letter represents a sound. In the first 16 books, this is book 1 to 5, the sound that we're representing is the most common sound that letter represents. Later on, children will build on their basic knowledge of letter and sound correlation, and we'll talk about the other sounds that letters can represent once they've got used to the ones that are the most common. So the letters are all introduced in exactly the same order as the Letters and Sounds phonics programme. And this is how it looks. So that's the cover of the book. It's a PDF. I'm looking at it on a laptop simply for ease so that I can show you what it looks like and point at it and film it at the same time. You might watch it or look at it on an iPad, iPhone, smartphone. You could even be using it on an interactive whiteboard with a whole class of children. Right, so you can print it off as well. So that just explains the Letters and Sounds programme and how to use the books. So this is page 1 of book 5. At this point we've learned that s, a, t, p, and this is the I sound being introduced. So all the sounds we've learned already are in blue. The new sound, the I sound, and we use capital letters and small letters so they get used to reading both, is in red. Where the sounds, we've got all the sounds in a word, they look like a word card, and that's just to alert you that the child can blend those sounds together when they come to those 3 sounds there. Pip, they can blend them and try and see if they can read the word. So the idea is that you read along with your finger underneath and you're reading all the sounds and your child just reads the sound that they know. So I would read Ingrid, a child would be reading id. So they would just do the 2 I sounds. Before you do each page, just so that it makes sense, I think I would read it with them first and talk about the picture. So Ingrid is taking Pip on a trip to the river. Pip yaps happily. So we could talk about what have they got. They're going to a river, they're going to use a map to get there. What kind of dog is Pip? That sort of thing. Bit of conversation. There's not much to say about that first picture. And then once you've read it and talked about it, then we can start decoding it. So, ingr, id, is, t, ake, ing, ip, pip, on a, t, r, ip, ip, trip, to the river. Pip, pip, yaps, happily. Okay, so you read together, you've got your finger underneath, your child is saying the red and blue letters, the letter sounds, you're reading the rest of it. They're just joining in. Take it slowly. Try to keep the sentences short. This is page 2, and we carry on in exactly the same way, with the child reading the red and blue sounds, and you reading the other sounds for them to make the words. Again, read it first, discuss the picture. There's lots more to see in this picture, lots more to talk about. Quite often some nice vocabulary to talk about. Binoculars. What are binoculars? Have they come across binoculars before? And if you notice in the word binoculars, the A sound is an R sound, binoculars or binoculars. It isn't quite the A, so it isn't a blue letter. That's something we'll learn later. We don't want to get confused. We're trying to keep to the very short a vowel sound. Page 3, again we've got blue and red letters. Not as many words for the child to read at this point, but until we get onto the later books, there won't be that many word cards on each page. Sits is a good one. Pip sits in the kitchen as Ingrid packs a picnic. So read it first, talk about the picture, and then we're back to finger on p, ip, pip, s, it, s, sit, s, in, and so on. And that's how it works. So each book builds on a new letter, one letter sound at a time. 16 books in phase 2, just as in letters and sounds used in schools. And then we start using the rest of the letters and the 2 letters to make one sound like ch and sh later in the programme. Okay, I hope you give it a try. Thanks for listening. Thanks. Bye.